Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Temporal Odyssey, designed by Chris Solis and published by Level 99 Games. This is actually backer selected, and in fact, I have played and reviewed this game a number of times. It was initially its own independent Kickstarter, went through some transitions, and finally picked up by Level 99. So I did some reviews of versions that didn't end up going live. I don't know if I filmed twice. I might have only filmed one, but I played it a number of times along the way. And, I find these to be interesting games, right? It says 2 to 4 players, but it's basically a head-to-head combat game in the 4-player version, the 2v2. And it's a single deck box with the different characters and its set mechanics. And so it's, it's like a CCG, but it doesn't have the CCG, right? So it's just a card game, but it has its own interesting mechanics, feels a little like, in that sort of, whether you play Magic or Pokemon or whatever games you play. And so it's really for people, I think, who like card battle games and are interested in trying different and new mechanics. This is chock full of interesting mechanics. It's just a step up because there's more to think about and sort of understand as you're playing. So in Temporal Odyssey, you're playing as a time traveler, and there's the past, the present, and the future. And essentially, the way this game works is your hero character, you start with a starting deck, and then you'll be drafting some cards, starts in play, and rather than having resource generation exactly, or like mana, or whatever, it's an action point game where you start with 4 action points, and you use that to use your actions and abilities and different things you can do. When you cast spells, they go underneath you, and then you need to rest to get them back, so you have some hand management there and some spell management there. And then essentially, you are also going to be collecting sigils, which give you a rune. And the runes are used to boost up spells and creatures and abilities and that kind of thing. So it's like you are drafting to build essentially collect different sets, or not quite engine building, but sets that will allow you to maximize spells. It's a little engine building, but it's light there. So my character's out, I'm fighting another character, I'm using spells, I'm enlisting other, creatures, and basically the way the drafting works is you're going to draw the top 3 cards, and from the timeline, and banish one, keep one, and put the other on top, right? So you're, it's not like a circular drafting, but you're working through the deck, and there are a few particular novelties here. Card drafting, done that before. The big thing is this instability concept. So your character's out and taking damage. If your character dies, it's a time traveler. You essentially can rewind time. When you go back in time, you're not dead anymore. But you get a stability token. And so if you get 3 of these and then die again, you're dead. But along the way, they give you little power-ups. So it's sort of this catch-up mechanic where you're getting beat, you're getting unstable, but then you can use that to push back and get a buff. It's a neat mechanic that's different than your sort of standard hit point stuff, and it's a neat mechanic having to do with the engine and having to have the relics to then power things up. It's a neat mechanic to have the drafting and then the listing. It's a lot of neat mechanics, and I enjoy playing. There's just a lot there to grok and understand and to learn. It's not, hey, it's just like Magic and then this. There's just all these different mechanics and things you sort of have to get somebody up to speed on. So I think it's really it's a game targeted at people who really like card combat games, who are sort of bored with what's out there, want to try something different, and have a crew of players that are willing to invest the time to learn it and then get the cycles in and play. Artwork's fantastic. The card quality is great. Artwork's really nice. I like the time travel concept. It's a little weird, with the different characters and stuff. It doesn't really span time per se. I mean, it does, but it's like time travel-ish in a way that just lets them do anything they want, but it works. So it's definitely worth checking out if you feel like you're in those categories. It may be a game that you want to maybe demo or play and see if you really sign up for it. But it does a lot of cool things, and because of the catch-up mechanic flipping around when, it has a nice tit-for-tat play style to it. So this is Temporal Odyssey. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.